Well, good morning. Uh, I'm surprised I woke up this early. I went to hear my son's band play last night, and I didn't get home here till getting close to 1 o'clock in the morning. So I didn't get to bed till a little bit after 1, actually. And I still woke up by 4 o'clock, but I didn't get out of bed right away. Anyway, the title for today's video is gotta scroll. Yes, I fought for my life. Last February, when I recognized my severe shortness of breath, I immediately changed my diet. Then I had a stroke in March. My heart was in such bad shape that the local hospital where the first surgery was performed back in 2002 refused to operate. They sent me to Shands, a cutting-edge hospital at the University of Florida. I convinced 6 doctors that I had the will to live and was confident of my survival. Now, if I listen to my attorney, I will be evicted in early January, leaving me homeless. Frankly, if that happens, I wish I would have died. I still exercise at the gym, but my heart is not in it these days. I feel hopeless. Here's the PayPal link for those willing and able to help me. When I wrote that yesterday, I had a really rough day. I was preparing the affidavit requested by the National Liberty Alliance, and which I'm also providing to my attorney. I told my attorney how I was feeling, or in an email. I didn't actually talk to him. And he says, well, can't, I says, I don't have any place to live. I'll be homeless. And he says, well, can't you live with your daughter or your son? And my daughter, of course, they moved out of here a little over a week ago now. A week and a half, I guess, almost 2 weeks. But their place is like half the size of mine, and they have 3 children. There's very little way that they could take me in. I mean, the bedrooms are tiny. You could fit 2 of their bedrooms into my room here with the office, and this isn't even as big as my bedroom in the adjacent room. So, I mean, their house is tiny, is what I'm saying. And my son, he's a night person. I'm a morning person. He doesn't go to bed sometimes till I've already been up and done my video. He listens to my video before he goes to bed and makes comments. Sometimes he sometimes deletes the comments after he makes them, but he actually comments on my videos when they first air. So his lifestyle and my lifestyle are polar opposites, and he sometimes at night has people come over and play music when I would be trying to sleep if I was living there. So it would not be conducive to my lifestyle. Neither would I be conducive to his lifestyle. It's not that either of us are wrong. We're just very, very different. And that's the way it is. But as I pored over the papers yesterday, again, I actually read some of the earlier documents of what I went through about my arrests. And yes, they came here and into my home hiding, no police car in the driveway, a knock on the door, ringing of the doorbell. Nobody was at the front door. I opened the front door, and then from in hiding, the policeman comes forward, ended up tackling me in my house and taking me to jail for driving without a license. And I was home. My car was in the garage. But of course, I had an international driving permit, and then I was stopped on that again later on and taken to jail and spent a night in jail in a different county. Had to have my son come and get me the next day. So, I mean, I've been through some really, really tough stuff. And then I almost died earlier this year. I mean, as I said in the blurb, the original doctors, or the doctors in the local hospital, who are specialists, I mean, that's what they do. they didn't want to operate on me. They didn't think I had a chance of survival. And that's what they believed at Shands as well. But I convinced them that my time wasn't up, that I'm here to fulfill a mission. But I'm telling you folks, point blank and straight out, I can't do my mission homeless. I can't do it without a place to stay. And I have so much stuff, even though I've had a lot of stuff taken from my house already, uh, there is so much stuff that I still have here. We barely touched the garage, and I've been working out in the garage this week, uncovering more antiques and stuff like that auction people didn't even get to look at. And I probably, or possibly anyway, will end up throwing it away. Uh, I do plan on getting a storage space and putting some stuff there in a worst case scenario, but I have no place to go. I have no place to live. And on my Social Security income, I cannot afford. I cannot afford to survive uh, by renting an apartment. I mean, even a one-bedroom apartment's going to cost. If I could get one for $600, that would be amazing. But that doesn't leave me much money for food and gas and electric uh, and I don't know if water would be included in the rent or not. But again, I don't drink regular water. I have a reverse osmosis on my thing because I won't drink not even groundwater without having it go through some kind of purification system. And folks, I simply do not know how I would survive on the little bit of income that I have if I didn't have this roof over my head. Now, if they were going to give me a fair deal, I mean, and actually buy the property from me, but they claim to have bought it for $100. Yes, $100. I've told that story before. They bid $100 because I filled out the land patent and the non-statutory trust in which I removed my home from the tax rolls. That's why they ended up buying it for $100, because lawfully they can't charge taxes on a house that is in a non-statutory trust. And I put my house where they couldn't touch it, at least tax-wise. So the court held an auction, and I don't know who the auctioneer was. I mean, filling out the paperwork for the National Liberty Alliance, they want information that I have no way of knowing. And I'm not going to go to courts and try to get all those questions answered of who was involved, because they want to bring actual criminal charges against all these people that that performed the deed on me. Now, unlike many other people that are going after the banks and the courts for taking homes or threatening to take homes, I didn't have a mortgage. I I had a I inherited the house, and once again, people say, "But you didn't pay the bill." Under common law, if something happens that you have no control over, that makes it impossible to pay the bill is forgiven. And especially a commercial loan, which never existed to begin with, where they created the money out of thin air, just like they created the money for the $100, just like they created the money, just like they create the money, the bank creates the money out of thin air to pay. They're supposedly been paying my taxes. That's money created out of thin air, and the tax bill is over a month and a half of my income. Just the taxes on this house would be over a month and a half of income. So that's why I would plan on actually getting something, but I want justice, and I don't want to live. I'm not going to commit suicide, but I don't want to live without a roof over my head. I don't want to live with financial stress of wondering Every month am I going to make it? I don't want to start charging for my videos. A few people have helped, but not a lot. Not a lot. And I don't want to have to depend on an unknown to even survive. So anyway, that's the rest of the story. And I've prayed to God, God, if I'm going to lose my home, let me die. And I mean that literally. I don't want to live. I don't want to live. Oh, and one more expense. I'd have to be paying a storage unit on top of the rent, because there wouldn't be a small apartment, small efficiency would not be big enough to store all my stuff. No way possible. Thank you for listening. Namaste.